All right, y'all, if you've ever dreamed about living in a town where the air smells like waffle cones, the people still wave when you drive by, and you can actually see the stars at night, then let's talk about Brenham, Texas. Hey, y'all, I'm Jen Dodge, your no-fluff, full-disclosure Houston realtor, helping people relocate to Houston and all of the surrounding areas. And today we're exploring one of my favorite small-town spots just northwest of Houston. It's called Brenham. We're going to talk about the location, schools, what it's like to live here, how close it really is to Houston and Round Top, what homes are selling for, and of course, we're going to talk about Bluebell, because how could we not? So let's get into it. So Brenham sits right between Houston and Austin in Washington County. It's about 70 miles northwest of Houston, roughly an hour and 15 minutes up Highway 290. It's a sweet spot. It's close enough for city conveniences, but far enough to escape the traffic and noise. The land starts to roll here. Those soft Texas hills, open skies, and long country roads lined with wildflowers in spring. Downtown Brenham is straight out of a Hallmark movie, brick streets, antique shops, art galleries, music patios, and more. With a population around 18,000, it's big enough for an H-E-B, a Target, and Starbucks, but small enough that the barista still knows your name. And if you're craving more land, the outer areas like Burton, Chapel Hill, and Independence are where you'll find ranches, acreage, and new custom builds. All right, guys, so let's talk about something that's super important to families. The schools. So Brenham is served by Brenham ISD. It's got about 5,000 students total. It's got a tight-knit district where teachers and parents actually know each other. You've got Brenham High School, home of the Cubs, with a strong agricultural, arts, and athletics program. The district's been investing in campus upgrades and technology, which is super important. They're keeping pace with the larger suburbs, but still maintaining that small town connection that's hard to find. For higher education, there's Blinn College. It's a well-known community college that feeds directly into Texas A&M, and the Brenham campus offers dual credit programs, workforce training, and continuing education. For families, that means you've got options without ever leaving town. So now let's talk proximity. From Brenham, you're about an hour and 15 minutes from Houston. You're 90 minutes from Austin and just 20 minutes from Round Top. That makes Brenham perfect for people who want a slower lifestyle, but still want access to the big city perks, concerts, dining, medical centers, and airports. If you work remotely or hybrid, it's an easy balance. With Highway 290 connecting straight through, you're never too far from where you need to be. So whether you're heading to Round Top for antiques or into Houston for an Astros game, Brenham sits right in the middle of it all. All right, guys, let's talk antiques. Because if you know Round Top, you already know it's a huge deal here. The Round Top Antique Show draws thousands of people every spring and fall. It's weeks of vintage shopping, designer pop-ups, live music, wine, and Brenham, it's just 20 minutes away. It becomes the go-to stay and shop hub. Local restaurants, coffee shops, and boutique inns stay packed during the show season. But even the rest of the year, you've got art galleries, antique stores, and home design boutiques open all the time. So if you love that fixer-upper meets farmhouse chic, then Brenham is basically the heart of it all. Okay, so let's now talk about my specialty, real estate. As of late 2025, the median home price in Brenham sits around $320,000 to $350,000. And that's also depending on which data source you actually check. That's well below the Houston metro average, which is closer to $400,000 or even $450,000. If you want to be in town, close to downtown or Blinn College, you're going to find charming historic homes, many from the early 1900s, updated with those modern finishes. Those usually run in the $300,000 to $400,000 range, depending on condition. Then you can also find new construction on the outskirts, like the Reserve at Peak Ranch or Heritage Oaks. They typically start in the high 300s and they go well up from there, of course. If you want land, you can find 2 to 5 acre tracts with newer homes starting around 5, going up to the 700,000-800,000 mark. And if you're dreaming bigger, 10 acres or more, custom builds or barns, you'll easily hit $1 million or more, especially west towards Burton or north of Highway 105. Property taxes in Brenham average around 1.6 to 1.9%, which is a lot lower than most of the Houston suburbs, where you're going to see 2 to 3 or even higher. And here's a bonus. Many areas in Washington County are outside of the city limits, meaning no city tax and fewer restrictions. That's a huge perk if you want more freedom to build or have more animals. Rental inventory here is limited. You're going to see 3-bedroom homes anywhere from $1,600 to $2,200 a month, but it's not an oversaturated market, which helps values stay very strong. So whether you're a first-time buyer, downsizing, or just wanting more elbow room, Brenham gives you more space and a slower pace for your money. So since we're talking real estate, let's talk second home market weekend getaways and short-term rentals. Because of Brenham's location between Houston and Austin and its proximity to Round Top, it's become a hot spot for weekend homes and investment properties. A lot of people are buying smaller cottages or vintage bungalows, fixing them up and using them as a weekend getaway. They'll come out Friday night, walk downtown for dinner, hit Round Top Saturday, and head home on Sunday. Others treat it like a hybrid investment. They'll use it part-time and rent it out as an Airbnb or a VRBO the rest of the year, especially Round Top. During the Round Top shows, rental demand goes through the roof. Rates can triple compared to a normal weekend. And some owners make the entire year's mortgage in those peak months. Pretty cool, right? So just outside of town in places like Burton, Chapel Hill, and Independence, you're going to find acreage homes that still attract short-term guests. Who wants the country vibe without the drive to the hill country? So if you're thinking about a property that can double as a getaway and an income opportunity, Brenham's a solid contender. It's close, it's charming, and it delivers on the Texas weekend dream that we all want. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. If you love ice cream like I love ice cream, you gotta know about Bluebell. Bluebell Creamery started here in 1907 and is still headquartered right in town. You can visit the ice cream parlor and country store, peek through the observation windows to watch part of the production, and grab a scoop of ice cream for just $1. And I'm talking a scoop. When you live in Brenham, taking friends and family there becomes a tradition. It's nostalgic, it's local pride, and it's a huge part of the community's economy. Brenham is literally known as the ice cream capital of Texas, and you feel the pride everywhere you go. Beyond Bluebell, daily life in Brenham is easy, community-driven, and slower in the very best way. There's Truth Barbecue, Mescalito Coffee, Home Sweet Farm Beer Garden, spots where you actually run into friends and not crowds. There's a farmer's market, local art walks, live music downtown, and events like the Hot Nights, cool tunes in the summer. Super cool, and you don't want to miss that. People here show up for each other. They take care of their neighbors. It's the kind of place where you can actually excel. So whether you're already in Texas or you're planning to relocate here, my goal is to help you figure out where you best fit in Houston and the surrounding areas. No fluff, full disclosure every single time. So if you're considering a move to the greater Houston area, whether that's Brenham, Cypress, Tomball, or the Woodlands, I'd love to help you make that move with confidence. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe at that little bell, and don't miss out on my next video on what it's like to really live here in Houston and beyond. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.